Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Mike Olzuber, one rental at a time. As we mentioned in the first two episodes with Dana from Himlane, we are flipping the script. I am the interviewee and she is the interviewer. So Dana, floor is yours.
Great. Sounds good. This is a question I have for you because I love data.
Yeah.
I think data is king. So when you have tenants, whether you've just recently acquired the property or you've had it for a while, how important is it to keep all this historical information, like their work orders and information about the tenants and leases and lease renewals? Walk me through kind of your thoughts on that, and maybe you even have some personal experiences where you had too much or too little data.
Yeah. One of the things that I thoroughly enjoyed about the POC trial or experience that you created is it really highlights the importance of collecting information. But then for me, having been doing this for 20 years, it just reminds me of what I didn't have at the beginning, right? There's so much in this business that if you take the time to collect up front, you will use later, right? Whether that's tenants, work orders, contractors, and I'll go through all of them, right? In the beginning, tenants are the one that people think about. And I get asked all the time, well, how do you take care of good tenants? How, what do you do with bad? When you do rent increases, all of those things. And in the beginning, I had to do everything from feel, right? And again, you never know, right? I think this tenant's been great because I don't remember anything. In reality, maybe they were horrible in February and March, and you don't remember it because it was 10 months ago. Data is king. And collecting history over time and in years in this business is so valuable. And I just missed that for 5 or 8 years, right? I remember getting paper invoices and having files. And then at the end of the year going through and I thought we replaced that water heater already. Oh, wasn't it? Where? It's, yeah, the applications of technology has come such a long way. But yeah, you'll be shocked as a landlord how important history is. So that's, no tenants. And then, work orders, right? I already talked about the water heater. It's a great example. One of the property managers I ended up firing is because we caught that they were trying to hit us for a brand new water heater twice in a year. And,
Wow.
we got lucky because Olivia's so detail oriented, we caught it. But most people, I don't think would have caught it. And, if we had an online application, it would have been obvious. And then, contractors, another thing that you work through is, I remember for a while there when we were small, right? We didn't really need a known landscaper to cut back tree limbs, right? But it's amazing when you start owning more and more units, how many times you got to cut back tree limbs that are now scraping the roof, or, it's too close to the house, or there's just all of these trades that you need so rarely. But then as you get bigger, you need, yeah, we use the same landscaper for everything. And in the beginning, it was like, oh, twice a year. But now I'm using them every month for different things. So understanding who's really done well for you and what jobs they were on. And oh, by the way, I remember having history of somebody who I think they replaced a toilet one time. And for whatever reason, one of the fittings wasn't on right. So it started leaking, 6 months later. I'm like, dude, I ain't paying for that. I do a lot of work with you. And I could actually say, hey, I've given you 10 jobs. Oh, by the way, so don't you dare hit me for this fee, right? That's on you, right? So the history is so important in this business in so many aspects. I can't imagine what it would be like for applications. I've never had to deal with that part, but again, very early in the beginning, applications, and it's just having online and have it self-create a history is game changing. And that's what I really hope people take from the trial and the experience. So it's everything to me.
Yeah. And I think that there's kind of two people who don't use software or tools or systems. It's ones who either just are a little, they're too disorganized to do it, right, and not efficient, or it's ones who don't want things tracked, right, and that's the nervous part, where you're like, wait, why don't they want me as an owner to see this information? There's something going on here. What about when you take over a property? Like, I'm sure there's been situations where you've taken over a tenant occupied property and you haven't had the documentation. Like, we see that come to us where it's like, wait, you don't have tracking of security deposits and you don't have this tenant's not under a lease.
Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah. Walk me through that. What happens in those cases?
Yeah. So every time we take over a building, we try to get estoppels, obviously during escrow, which basically states what is the rent and what is the deposit signed by the landlord and the tenant, right? So estoppels in California are very common. But something we do after we come over is, generally speaking, we put the tenant through an application, even if they're under lease. We want to know if they would qualify for us going forward, right? So that's something we do right up. We just treat them like a new tenant, or yeah, like a new tenant in the system, and we just start building the history. The one thing I don't do is I don't put in historicals, right? The landlord could make all kinds of claims and produce all kinds of stuff. I don't care. First off, I assume they're all lying.
Yeah.
First off, but second off, I don't care how the tenant acted with you. I care about how they act with me.
Yeah.
So I don't load historicals, even if it's well documented and looks pretty. Not interested. Don't care. I need the estoppel so that we start day zero okay, and then we have them fill out an application and move forward. Just so we have all the data, when lease renewal comes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So that's, again, it's everything. And that's the thing that really jumped out at me way back when we had the conversation about Hemlane years ago, was building that history and that track record, because it's so important for tenants, for applications, work orders, contractors, just building your Rolodex, checking who's quality, who's not, reminding you. When you try to do everything from memory, maybe it works when you have one or two, but it's not scalable, at least not in my experience. So Dana, I love what you've built with Hemlane, and I love the fact that you did that 30-day trial for folks. So where can people find you and learn more about you and Hemlane?
Yeah, you can go to www.hemlane, which you can see in the corner here, hemlane.com, and just reference one rental at a time, because you do get 20% off your first year. So make sure you mention one rental at a time in the process.
People like saving money, folks. And again, without question, if you're still watching this, you need to take the 30-day trial below. It's free. Sign up, understand what I mean by tracking, interacting with students, work orders, see what's going on. So Dana, thanks again for doing that trial. It was a lot of fun and so well done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael.
You got it.